What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and I'm very excited because the Lyon star midfielder Aouar has been heavily linked with Liverpool. Various newspapers are linking Liverpool with this guy, and according to a recent report in the French newspaper Le Temps Sport, Liverpool are prepared to push very hard for this very talented 20-year-old midfielder. He's French, but his parents or grandparents are from Algeria. His role models are Zinedine Zidane and Juninho. And also, according to the French sources, Jurgen Klopp is very eager to bring in the French talent to Anfield, and he is prepared to make a very big push for him during the summer transfer window. And he's only 20 years old. This season is his really big breakout season with Lyon. He has managed to establish himself as one of the most important first team players in Lyon. So far he started 44 games for Lyon and scored 7 goals from a center midfield position. He is a box-to-box midfielder. He can play as an attacking midfielder or as a center midfielder. And not just only he scored 7 goals, but he created 8 assists as well across all competitions. And he also represented France at the under-17 and under-21 levels in his international career. And he is a very versatile, very talented player. And I think under Jurgen Klopp, he could become a world-class midfielder. So let me know, do you want Liverpool to sign Aouar? And also, if you enjoy these types of transfer updates, please leave a like. It really helps me out and shows me that you guys enjoy these types of videos. And subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss a future upload. So what kind of player is Aouar and what would he add to Klopp's team? So Aouar is versatile enough to play in multiple positions across center midfield. So he can play as a 6, he can play as an 8, he can play as a number 10 even. And I'm talking about the different roles in midfield that he could occupy. So he can operate both as an attacking midfielder, as a defensive midfielder, or as a box-to-box midfielder, something in between. And he is also capable of filling in as a left winger if needed. He is a wonder kid, considered in France as one of the biggest talents coming through right now in France. He has decent pace, and he is very good on the ball. He very rarely loses possession of the ball, very good on the ball. He is very good at dribbling. He can also link up play well from midfield, and he has an eye of opening up a low block defensive defense with a killer pass, demonstrated by his 8 assists during the season. So Aouar is the kind of player that you don't buy for the here and now. So he probably wouldn't start every game if he were to signed by Liverpool, but he's for the future, and I think he could be a very useful addition. And he could start in some games in the Naby Keita role, he could start in other games in the Wijnaldum role. And also, I think going to Liverpool this early at this young age, I think would be perfect for him, because Jurgen Klopp has a very good eye for talent, and also Jurgen Klopp makes young players better. I mean, he makes almost every single player better. So I'm very excited and interested about this transfer story and this player, because if you have watched Lyon at any point this season, this guy has stood out as one of the best midfielders at Lyon alongside Naby Fekir. And I think if Liverpool want to get this guy, we need to act quick, because Lyon have quite a lot of players like Naby Fekir, Ferland Mendy, Tanguy and Ndombele and Aouar. So 4 players that Lyon could lose in the summer. They could sell these 4 players. And I might think that they might not want to sell all of them. So depending on if Liverpool get Aouar early and maybe another club gets Fekir or Ndombele, I really hope that Liverpool go for both Fekir and Aouar, but it might be a little bit of an overkill. We really don't need 2 players for the same position. But my point is that if Liverpool delay this transfer, then Lyon might sell Ndombele and Fekir, or Ndombele and Mendy, and then they will say, we want at least 1 or 2 of these big talented players to to stay at the club, and they might refuse to sell Nabil Fekir. That's what happened with Thomas Lemar, for example. If you remember that Liverpool were in for Thomas Lemar, but Monaco already sold like half of their most talented players that summer. That was a massive clear out after Monaco went to the Champions League semi-finals, and Monaco said, you are not getting Lemar unless you pay like almost £100 million, and Liverpool of course were not prepared to pay that. And I think it has been a good decision, because Lemar, he has been good with Atletico Madrid, but he hasn't been a 100 million player good level. So I'm really excited about the summer transfer window, and I really hope that Liverpool get at least one attacking midfielder. Aouar would be perfect in my opinion, but he's not very experienced. Just that's his first big season with Lyon. Last season he only played 5 games and scored 1 goal, so he's still a rookie, if you like, a young player, but he has the talent, in my opinion, to play at the highest level, because he has played in the Champions League, in the Europa League, and I'm really hoping that Liverpool get him. And it was fascinating to see the Liverpool fan base and their reaction to the Manchester United-Manchester City game. Some of them already threw in the title. I'm not throwing in the title, and Jurgen Klopp is not throwing in the title either. And I think it's very interesting to listen to Jurgen Klopp and what he has to say about the title race. So he said it was not the last chance before the game of Man United Man City, so why should it be the last chance after the game? If anybody really thought United are capable of hurting City, City are just too good for that. It is not a lie. I watched the game in front of the television and I was not a little bit nervous. It was not like, oh my god, why did he do this, Lingard? Why did he miss? So Jurgen Klopp wasn't like that in front of the TV. I'm sure that many Liverpool fans were like that, me included. When Lingard missed that open goal in the second half, I was just livid and shouting at my television. But Jurgen Klopp is right. The title race will be decided by the last 3 games. No matter, even if Man City didn't win against Man United, it wouldn't have been over anyway. Jurgen Klopp said, I don't like watching these games because we have nothing to do with them. I like to have the information, but that's all. Everything is still fine. And if somebody doesn't believe anymore then I can't change that now. If you still believe, then welcome to my club. Oh, that's brilliant. There are so many examples in life of what could happen if you give up too early, of what it means of people who would not have survived if they would have given up. That I don't have to use these examples. You know these examples. It is over when it is over and not before. And for us, it is not over. We just do what we have to do as well as we can do it. And then we will see. And Jurgen Klopp is very serious about that, about the fact that Manchester City's run-in and the difficulty doesn't end at Old Trafford. I think, and Jurgen Klopp agrees, Burnley and Leicester are 2 very tough games, and Brighton on the last day might be fighting for their lives. So these are 3 difficult games, and Manchester City can drop points in any of them. Don't forget that they already lost to Leicester and they already lost to Crystal Palace and Newcastle. 3 teams that were, you know, massive underdogs against Manchester City, so it's not unthinkable that they can drop points. And Jurgen Klopp said this: is Burnley a place I would love to have on our schedule for us now? No, honestly not. It is not a place where you think, oh nice, we are going to Burnley, easy points. It is a tough place to go, and they are in a good moment and they are used to that style of play. We don't have to really think about it, we just have to be focused. Jurgen Klopp also said, we don't only want to play to be champions. Yes, it's a main target and this stream is pretty close, but this will be the first time and not the last time. We have to carry on, and we will carry on, but only one team can be champion. We don't have to reset the situation or summarize the season. If we do it, we will do it. If we don't do it, there are no regrets as long as we give it our best. And I saw that all season from the boys. Whatever we end up with, it is only the first step. We are not finished. We started this season with this team, and we will carry on with or without the title. And I think that is a very good point. Liverpool, I think, has gone the maximum length that they could have gone this season. And yes, you might complain about some draws here and there, but if you look at Manchester City, they didn't have a perfect season. They had a spell where they lost 3 games out of 4, and they could have seriously lost the title because of that. But if Man City go on a 14-game winning streak, you can't deny that they deserve a title. But equally, you can't deny that Liverpool deserve a title. It's very, very strange that this is the season where both teams equally deserve the title. And I think Pep Guardiola also said that in his post-match interview, when he was interviewed after the Man United-Man City game, that Liverpool and Manchester City both deserve the title, and one of them will not win it, and it will be the unluckiest second place probably in English football history. And I think that Liverpool deserve huge credit, no matter if we win the title or not. To get to 90 plus points after finishing on 75 points last season is a huge improvement, and that's all that you can ask for. And I think this Liverpool team got almost the maximum that they could get this season. And you could argue that we have been unlucky in some games where we have drawn, but you could also argue that there has been some games where it went Liverpool's way. Just think about the Origi winner. I don't think it's wise to debate where Liverpool won or lost the title. I think we just need to recognize the greatness that this Liverpool team did. They have been exceptional, outstanding, very, very, very good. Probably one of the best seasons that Liverpool have ever had. And I think if you just look at how many games we won and how many goals we scored to how many goals we conceded, this is the best ever Liverpool season in terms of our wins ratio, our points per game ratio. And if Liverpool's best ever season is still not enough to win the title, what can you do? What can you do? Just dust yourselves down and try to win it again next season, because I'm sure that Manchester City will have more problems next season. I think Fernandinho, David Silva will be 1 year older, Company will be, of course all of their players will be 1 year older, but maybe they will decline a little bit. Aguero is also going to be 31 years old. Guardiola won't stay at Manchester City forever. He might leave Manchester City in the next 2 or 3 seasons. What Liverpool need to do is keep this performance up every season and collect as many league titles in the process as possible. Because if you look at Liverpool's team, they have a very, very good average age. Almost all of the defense, maybe except Van Dijk, could play for Liverpool for the next 8 or 9 years. Gomez, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Alisson, these 4 guys could play for Liverpool for the next 10 years even. And Van Dijk even could play for the next 7 or 6 years for Liverpool. If you look at the midfield, it's the same except maybe Henderson and James Milner, but Naby Keita, Wijnaldum, Fabinho, these players could still play at the highest level for the next 5 or 6 years. Same with Salah, Firmino and Mane. They are also getting to their prime. They could still play for the next 6 or 7 years with Liverpool and win a lot of trophies. So I'm very, very optimistic that Liverpool are on the right track, and that's all that you can ask for, to improve season in, season out. And Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp has improved massively. So according to some German newspaper articles, RB Leipzig are targeting Rafa Camacho, and they are readying a 10 million plus pound offer to sign Camacho. And considering Camacho's talent and his age, I think that's about right. He's only 18 years old, but he hasn't played in Liverpool's first team on many occasions. He only played in 2 games, I think. And with the player not yet renewing his contract, we will likely have to cash in, which is really a shame, because I think Camacho is a really good player and a big talent. But if he can't really get into the first team, it's maybe better to sell him, because we can't loan him out, because otherwise we will lose him for absolutely nothing. So it's better that maybe he goes to a club like Leipzig, RB Leipzig, where he would start most of the season. And he recently scored for the under-20s, 23s a hat-trick, and he made a very controversial post on his Instagram that said those who considered him a right back were wrong, although he followed that up with a long post about how Jurgen Klopp has done wonders for his young career. So it's difficult to see in his first post who exactly was he criticizing, because I can see him being frustrated because he sees himself as a winger who is a goal scorer and a dribbler, and when you put him as a right back in some games, maybe he felt that wasn't his best position. But still, you shouldn't rant about that on Instagram. What you should do is just go to your coach or your manager and discuss that in private behind closed doors. That's the proper way to do it. And the fact that he doesn't want to sign a new contract shows me that I think his days are numbered at Liverpool, which is a shame. According to ESPN, Atletico Madrid are eyeing up Marco Grujic, who is having a very good season at Hertha Berlin. He has become an automatic striker. He has become an automatic starter player under Pál Dardai, the Hungarian manager, who is unfortunately stepping down at the end of the season. But Grujic already made 19 appearances in the Bundesliga, scoring 4 goals and registering an assist. And they will finish comfortably in mid-table, which is where almost everybody expected Hertha to finish. But with Liverpool having so many midfielders on our ranks, don't forget that Lallana and Oxlade-Chamberlain just recently came back from injury, and we don't really have a place for Grujic in our side. We might consider selling him, but the question is, who would want to pay the asking price? And at the moment, it looks like Michael Edwards wants big money for Grujic, which is 35 million pounds. I don't think anybody will pay that amount of money for Grujic, but you know, who knows? Maybe somebody like Atletico, or maybe even I think what is more likely is maybe a German club will notice his talents and maybe they will buy him. But for 35 million, I don't think that's realistic. I think the realistic transfer fee would be about 20-25 million for him. But it's very difficult to put a price tag on a player who is already quite young, but he's getting himself established in the Bundesliga. So it's tough to judge how much he would go for. And Liverpool managing director Billy Hogan has hailed the incredible recruitment business that Liverpool have done in the past 3 years, and he credited that for making Liverpool Premier League and Champions League contenders. And he said this: the team is a much different team from a player perspective, and Jurgen Klopp and his team and how we have operated as an organization is different. When the team came here in 2012, the new owners, we were still very early in the process from an operations standpoint and changing the business itself. Thinking about the investment that was needed to be made in the stadium, which we have completed with the main stand being redeveloped, the commercial side, and investing in a team. Quite a bit has changed. It's been a strategy over the course of 9 years, really, that led on the football side by Jurgen Klopp, Michael Edwards and Mike Gordon. And as it relates to recruitment, they have done an incredible job. And obviously, from a coaching perspective, the team is performing really well. He also added, success breeds success. The team and the way they have been performing on the pitch obviously is terrific from the perspective of our supporters, the team, the whole club. All our commercial partners are pleased with the increased marketing exposure. John Henry, the owner, Tom Werner, Mike Gordon, the whole ownership at FSG has been about operating the properties in a sustainable way, and that's what we are doing. And I want to give huge credit to Liverpool owners, who I have been critical of in the past when Liverpool weren't really successful. They made some mistakes in the early days, which is understandable because they didn't know much about football, but they learned from those mistakes, and now Liverpool are one of the most well-run, self-sustaining clubs in world football, and one of the richest self-sustaining clubs in the world football, and we can now compete with almost anybody in terms of the transfer market. And Liverpool, for the next 5 years, I can see a lot of success at Liverpool. And if Jurgen Klopp stays for at least the next 4 years, I think Liverpool will be an exceptional team. They already are an exceptional team, but with a couple of new transfers in the summer, we can really push on next season and cement Liverpool as one of the best teams in Europe once again, which is where we belong in my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you later. Goodbye.